The U.S. confirms that China has a spy base in Cuba that's about 100 miles from our coast. The administration says a Wall Street Journal report last week on China agreeing to pay Cuba several $billions to build an eavesdropping station was inaccurate. They said that initially, but then after public and media scrutiny, the administration admitted over the weekend that the base has been operating in Cuba since 2019. Well, the base in Cuba is reportedly an effort by Beijing to collect intelligence on the U.S., monitor U.S. ship traffic, and gather electronic communications from the southeast. That's a region home to many military bases. The Biden administration claims it's trying to thwart China's spying operations. To talk more about this is foreign policy expert Harley Lippman. Harley, welcome. Good to have you. So this bombshell admission comes only after public scrutiny on the administration, after the Chinese spy balloon, after an illegal Chinese police station was found operating in New York, and after a Chinese jet came dangerously close to a U.S. military plane. What's happening here? What's China trying to do?
We're now in the midst of the second Cold War. There's no mistake about it. And the playing field has been broadened. What happened is previously we were confronting China in the Pacific. And China is now saying that we're going to come to your backyard. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, many are right there in line with you. They're pointing out how this is drawing parallels to the Cold War when the Soviet Union had spying facilities in Cuba to monitor the U.S. So what does this mean to our national security now?
It's a problem. It's a direct threat to us. And an example of that, two leading senators on the Intelligence Committee, a Democrat and a Republican, Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Mark Warner, both issued a joint statement saying that they find this deeply disturbing and unacceptable. Now, why is that significant? Is that this is the most serious foreign policy issue we have that is getting bipartisan support. Confronting China is one of the very few issues that Democrats and Republicans pretty much agree on. So that's another distinctive element of this new Cold War confrontation that we're dealing with.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken took a dig at the last administration, claiming President Trump failed to take effective action against the base's construction in Cuba. It seems to always be Trump's fault.
It's not clear whether the Trump administration knew about it or not. Obviously, this is useful for Biden to say that. But whether it's true or not, we do know that we have to confront it now because, as you mentioned earlier, they're going to have extraordinary access to all our intelligence and our communications in the southeast of the United States. And we have a lot of naval and military bases there.
Right.
Also, this is also the beginning of China's efforts. There are reports from the U.S. intelligence services that they are planning in the next 10 years to develop about 10 other sites like that, intelligence gathering sites in Asia and in Africa, all with the goal of spying on the United States and being a rival to the United States. So they are making their confrontation with us very open and very clear.
This is not just an effort aimed at the U.S. It's around the world, really. And since I was a kid, my mom, who grew up in Taiwan after her parents fled the CCP, always told me that the goal of China is to become the #1 world power. Are they gaining ground on that goal?
Your mother's correct.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and that is their goal, and that's what they're doing. They're doing everything possible to undermine the United States, confront the United States, and supplant the United States as the #1 superpower. We even see it in actions around the world from them supplying arms to Russia, which makes it all the more essential why we need to stand up to Ukraine. Nobody's watching this more carefully than the Chinese government to see Western resolve on Ukraine.
Yeah, because they have their eyes on Taiwan, as we know. Harley Lippman, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.